Alright, what the fuck is up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. You already know what it is. Yeah, man. It goes down this weekend, everybody. It officially goes down this weekend. I'm all the way turned up. I'm all the way excited. I mean, there's really nothing else to talk about. I don't care about the drama in the littler divisions. I don't care about who's not making fights next month. The month after that, I don't care who canceled fights over the summer. None of that matters. I don't care. I don't care who's on phentermine and calling it tea. I don't care about any of that. Because September 25th, we got the biggest fight of the year in my eyes. And I'm sure in you guys' eyes too. We got Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandyr Usyk. Whew. Whew. When you just say the name, it just sends chills through your bones. I mean, for all of the BS we've had this year, to say that we can start off the end of September with something like this, man, I'm sure everybody's at the edge of their seats. I'm definitely at the edge of mine. I'm looking forward to what's going to take place. There's a lot of things to talk about here. There's a lot of things to chop up and break down. How are the guys going to do it? Who's going to prevail? We got Oleksandyr Usyk standing at 6'3". We don't know how big he's going to come in. He's got a 78 reach. We got Anthony Joshua towering at 6'6" with an 82. So, I mean, man, there's a major difference in dimensions, but there isn't too much difference in level of skill here. We got one slick boxer likes to operate lateral, puts together a lot of punches against a guy who, if he punches you, if he touches you, you can go to sleep. Very, very, very nice, deceptive uppercut. If it touches your chin, you're going down. Beautiful overhand follow through right. If it hits you, you're going down. He just has that magic touch in the right and the left hand. If he touch you, could potentially go down. Shows adaptation, is adapted in fights, has met all types of adversity, seen the canvas before, got up, won. You know what I mean? It's been rocked by Dillian White in the second, came back and won, was rocked by Alexander Povetkin in the fight, found a way to win it in 7 rounds by stopping him. So we got Oleksandyr Usyk over there, taking zeros left and right in the cruiserweight division, fighting breathe, taking the O from Glowacki. I mean, shoot, completely having Tony Bellew forget what happened with the beginning of his evening after the 8th round. All he remembers is, and I quote, waking up in the locker room. So, I mean, greatness is on the line here. But there is differences, and there are those differences we are going to have to pay attention to. Size, dimensions, all of these things carry over. All of these things mean something. I mean, I don't know, man. What do y'all think? So shout out to the whole Reaper gang. Appreciate everybody that's in the building tonight. Let's cook this thing up how we usually do. An hour of death, destruction, and a lot of boxing talk, man. So let's go ahead and get into it. But first, I want to shout out those who are in the building. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Oh, let's go. Miguel, salute. Carlos, what's goody? Slide Tendencies, what's popping with you? Spartan, what's goody? Don't ask me. What's popping with you? September 25th, it goes down, fellas. Daniel Moreno, Jay the Prodigal Son, yo. What's goody? He got AJ by KO. Hey, man. Man. I would have to say that prediction isn't too far off from where I'm sitting. You know, from what I'm hearing, Anthony Joshua's coming in lighter than he's ever came in his career. I mean, shit, he's going to come in. So does that mean he's coming in lighter than Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua too? And what does that mean to y'all if he comes in that light? Do y'all think that favors him, or should he still keep a little bit of size and dimensions on him or whatever and a little bit of more brolic weight on him? I mean, I like the fact that he's coming down. I just don't want him to come down too much. You know what I'm saying? Streamline, of course, is going to make you better. You know, the ability, you know, have high output through rounds because you're going to be able to have that. Maybe you're going to want to pace yourself out a little bit, see how, you know what I'm saying, Alexander's punches feel, you know, because, you know, out the gate, Alexander's going to come out high tempo. This is just what he does. And considering that he's a cruiserweight only, this is going to be his third fight in the heavyweight division. It's only been opposition like Chaz Witherspoon, Derek Chisora. We all seen how the Derek Chisora thing was. Yeah, he's going to have high volume. He's going to have to come at it a little erratic, a little fast on an upbeat pace. But at the same time, I mean, that could get you clipped. He's not the most defensively responsible person. That's why I have Anthony Joshua knocking him out with no problem, using his distance, you know what I'm saying, and just beating him with range and strong, long power shots. I mean, because if Alexander's going to have to come inside, if he comes inside, do you really want to walk into that death trap of an uppercut? I don't know. But Anthony Joshua, this isn't going to be no cakewalk for him. We're going to get to see Anthony. Honestly, I would have to say this fight might test Anthony Joshua a little bit more than what the other guys could. But at the same time, I'm trying to, would I be comfortable with saying Andrew Ruiz kind of brings what Oleksandyr Usyk is going to bring to the table? He's just fatter, but there's no footwork there. So I don't know how comfortable I would feel with saying that. But I just think that the barrage and combinations, I believe the footwork is going to be it's going to be a little bit of a different look than Andy Ruiz. And let's just see, you know what I'm saying, how's Anthony Joshua going to be able to adjust to that, you know, that wasping effect that is Oleksandyr Usyk. You know, like I think this is going to define Joshua on all levels. I really do. I think this is the kind of fight that definitely defines him on all levels. As far as his records is concerned, you can put all of the bullshit to bed. I don't care what nobody says. There's only one other person in that division that would even matter. So the world would have to scream more on what the hell is Tyson Fury going to do if Anthony Joshua wins. Because that's the only fight left to make happen. But Anthony Joshua's going to have some shit to deal with. I mean, I've seen him go 12 rounds on the back foot boxing beautifully. It's not hard at all, but I don't know, man. Being bigger is definitely going to benefit him in a lot of ways. It's hard to read the Chisora fight. Was Usyk actually struggling? There's a chance Usyk getting rounds with someone who wants to take his head off. He was too fleet of foot for me to, you know what I'm saying, for my liking, to say that, you know what I'm saying, he didn't have problems, I would be lying. Because to be perfectly honest, I felt like, you know what I'm saying, he definitely was taken back a little bit by some of those shots that were coming from Chisora, and he was just giving off a kind of the energy to me that he didn't like the shots. Now, when Chisora wavered, and, you know, when his wind tank wavered, Usyk just started pouring it on exceptionally well, just like what he usually does. No different than what Tony Bellew. He just let him gas himself out. Chisora was winging himself, doing some mindless winging, and got caught up. But in the earlier rounds, I would say, yeah, you know, the power definitely showed that it had him on the run, in a sense to where engaging really wasn't on his mind for me in the first half of the fight. It was more like, yo, I don't want to get hit one of these bombs. I don't want to get knocked the fuck out. But superior skill set, yes. I just felt like he laid in wait and definitely, you know, poured it on in the second half of the fight. I mean, he did what he had to do, considering his dimensions and considering he definitely did what he had to do. But if I was doing grade his performance, I would have to see him do a lot better, because if I watched the Chaz Witherspoon fight and then him going into that fight, I felt like, yo, you had to go 7 rounds with Witherspoon, bigger guy, bigger body, first fight in heavyweight division. Yeah, we're going to give him his credit there, but it took a lot for you to break a guy like that down, and that guy is in no way, shape, or form ever going to to be a measuring stick. And Derek Chisora, I mean, scrappy as all hell, definitely gets in the ring, gets in debatables with former champions like Joseph Parker and all of that shit. But at the end of the day, Derek Chisora has a ceiling as well. So when I see those ceilings, those are the kind of things that bothers me when it comes to a guy like Anthony Joshua, because when it comes to a Derek Chisora and Anthony Joshua, they are worlds in talent between. To me, they are worlds in power between. I feel like Derek Chisora is by a guy who is truly there, truly powerful, and truly at the top of his game in the division. Like this is one of the top guys. The other top guys don't even consider to have power on that level. And honestly, I think Joshua has the strongest punch in the division. So we're gonna have to see. Like, I mean, the 25th is gonna tell us if he really has problems with that power or not. So we're gonna have to see. All in all, it just makes for a great fight, great drama, great freaking drama. I don't know, man. I'm just at the edge of my seat about this, man. Cause Usyk, like, look, let's not get it twisted here. Usyk can win this fight. I don't want this to be a situation to where, if I'm Anthony Joshua's coaches, we don't want it to go to points, right or wrong. We don't want it to go to points. I don't think we want this thing to go to points. Speaking to y'all, Reaper Gang, fight fans alike, if you were in Anthony Joshua's corner, points or knockout? I mean, of course, we want it to be the knockout, but wouldn't you be fearful of points against somebody like Oleksandyr Usyk? Or are you guys of the belief that the point system doesn't even matter, because with that type of punch and with that type of opponent, he won't make it there? That's the question. Usyk is getting touched, and AJ will get tested for sure. These are facts, man. And it balances out so evenly on the scales. Like at the end of the day, man, Johnny Nelson speaking facts. You're going to have to be on your A game when you fight this guy. And I mean, I've seen Anthony Joshua on his A game before, but maybe you might have to be on your A+ game. Or maybe this might have to be defined as, you might have to, physical strength and, mental fortitude and high boxing IQ is going to have to go hand in hand like a motherfucker in a fight like this. I truly believe that. And I know Oleksandyr Usyk, the type of engine, the type of mentality, he ain't going to lay down. He's not going to lay down. So I feel like you could probably be on par with, like, shit, man. Could this be like kind of like one of those things that Sugar Ray Leonard would have to go through when he fights a Marvin Hagler or Tommy the Hitman Hearns or Duran? Pour on high barrage to show, extremely high levels of slickness, just so he can prevail and just make sure that every round, it's very visible what you're doing on the point side of it. Because can he knock Joshua out? That's another question too. I mean, Joshua can be knocked down, but can he knock him out? Does he have enough power to one punch Joshua? Jeff, what's goody? Brody in the building. LeBron, what's popping with you? Usyk doesn't need power to knock out AJ, just to keep him honest, to keep him aware. He could get fucked up for not respecting. Yeah, man, like, I agree with that. He definitely can get fucked up for not respecting. And the thing of that is, Oleksandyr Usyk is going to have to be that barrage, cagey fighter, that guy who is very in and out, very, very poised in his attack. And at the same time, he's going to have to respect it, but I feel like he's going to have to disrespect it on some level too, because he's going to have to go into the wheelhouse and he's going to have to operate in a lateral sense to where he's putting forth together combinations that are very chippy. And what I mean by chippy in a sense to where, he's knocking a little bit of wood, he's knocking a little bit of bark off the wood, you feel me? Like, he's going to have to chip away at Anthony Joshua meticulously throughout the night, soften him up, and tenderize the victory. He's going to have to do that. And that's going to take you having to get possibly cut up or you might end up touching the canvas in the process. Before a fight of this magnitude and for a fight and for the dimensions of the fighter you're going up against, that's the type of stuff you're going to have to do. But so, yeah, I definitely think he's going to have to respect it. He's just going to have to be very smart with his in and out game. He's going to be very smart when he have to approach it. And Joshua's going to have to, you know what I'm saying, find timing between shots as well. Man, it's a good fight, man. And honestly, you know, I don't think any prediction, I don't think any analysis could probably, you know, pretty much sum up all that we're gonna get this Saturday, because who fucking knows? This shit could probably have more drama than Andy Ruiz won. It could have more drama than Klitschko versus Joshua. I mean, shit, we don't know. We really don't know. But one thing I don't like about Oleksandyr is I don't necessarily like the fact that he is always willing to get hit and be hit. He's a typical, you know what I'm saying? He's a typical high guard, shoulder shift, but he's not really getting out of the way of punches. Maybe he just shrugs them off because he doesn't really give a fuck about him. Adrenaline pouring, he's just coming forward, he's just doing him. Maybe nobody's been able to make him pay for the lack of defense that is shown. But that's a problem for me. That's a problem for me, especially when you're coming up in a gear. And I know, we know the real deal has been up there. But let's be serious, y'all. When Evander Holyfield was Cruiser Undisputed Champion of the world and he went up to heavyweight, we all know Evans Fields was getting some special hormone-infused packages flown to the house. So this is a clean boxing thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I don't think he's punching like Evander. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But Usyk gonna have to get dirty. Usyk's gonna have to take out the judge's decision. Stick and move won't cut it. Yeah, man. You're dealing with not just the A side, but you're dealing with the astronomical A, though. The guy who floods in 90K, the guy who sells out arenas with no matter who he's fighting with on 5 minutes of the pre-sales. You're dealing with that kind of guy. And you're coming into the new Hotspur Stadium and shit like that underneath the lights. You know, you in the UK, like, bro, like, let's be serious here. If it is in some way, shape, or form debatable, we know what it is. We know what it is. There ain't enough fairness in the world. This is boxing. There's not enough fairness in the world. I think it did. Yeah. My bad, D-Town. Appreciate you with the super chat, family. He says, 5-5. What the fuck is up, Reaper? You good? Sup to the chat. Hope all is well. Shout out to the eyebrows of boxing. Yeah, man. Shout out to the face of eyebrow. Shout out to the face of boxing's eyebrows, man. I'm waiting on the Reagan mask, man. I got the president's mask coming in. I got all of the most corrupt figures in the world. From your Bushes to your Bidens. To your Reagans, to your Nixons, they on the way. Shout out to the face of boxing's eyebrows, though. That's a fact. Dragon Leg, what's goody? This fight is a big drama show for real. Yeah, that's the definition of the big drama show. And I believe that, yeah, man, all the stars is going to be out there. I mean, shit, all my UK family, how many people can fit into the Hotspur Stadium? How many can they fit in there? Usyk said he coming in at 230. That's bad, Miguel. For me, that's bad. But hold on. It might not necessarily be a bad thing too, but anytime you're trying to adjust on fight night 12 rounds with a completely different weight that you're used to carrying on, because everything's finite what they do in that camp over there. You know, they be doing all types of wild shit. But you know, they just sports medicine freaks over there. So they very finite with their training over there. Everything is down to the proper, it's all down to the proper ingredients of the training regimen. I must say that. So, but coming in that heavy, maybe it's because he's been adapting to more size at the heavyweight division. I mean, he's 6'3", carrying on 230. Lean weight, I wouldn't want to see him above that. I mean, Anthony Joshua was 235, right? When he fought Ruiz in the second fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. It could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. It all depends on how his body adapt to it. How long he's been carrying it that way, what's been his walk around weight, how he's trying to adapt to being a bigger figure, so on and so forth. We know he can go 12 with no problem. But the thing is, you got to go 3 minutes of 12 rounds without getting hit by that man. That's my thing. Like, are you gonna make it 12 rounds without getting hit flush by that man? That's the thing. Realistically, I don't know. I don't know, because everything he touches right now is good night. And I mean, 88% knockout ratio. I mean, been knocking out the biggest the biggest that boxing has to offer in the division. Definitely upper level opposition. So we know his power carries over with the guys that are supposed to be in the top 10 of boxing. I'm just saying, if it hurts them, it can hurt him too. I'm just saying, maybe Brady, Glowacki, Hunter, Chisora, Chaz, none of them dudes might not have been able to hit you like that. But when this dude hits you, though, oh my God. And that's the thing. Can you be if Usyk is trying to go in there and he wants to fight this dude, and it's supposed to be a situation where it's just like he just has to be the perfect boxer for 12 rounds, I'm sorry. But I don't know how you guys look at it. Being the perfect boxer for 12 rounds in a heavyweight fight never really transitioned to much. It can sometimes. And I mean, considering an opponent, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I mean, Anthony Joshua wasn't just necessarily just looking for a knockout blow, but it ain't just a one-punch knockout power. It's just the punches that'll rock you. It's the punches that'll, shake your equilibrium, take you off balance for a little bit. It's the visibility you show when you're actually hurting the ring. It's that, that experience of going round by round wilting, just having to deal with that type of weight, that type of overwhelming height, reach. You're going up against a lot, it's a hill to climb, bro. It's a mountain to climb. But they primed and ready. They in tip-top shape. Anthony Joshua's going to have to climb through a lot too. He's going to have to adapt with being something that he never really was. He's always been more of, just a steady 1-1-2 kind of hook uppercut kind of fighter. Is he going to be looking to throw more punches? Because with Oleksandyr Usyk's particular style of output, it might be better for him to up the punch output. He's going to have to up the punch output. There's no way around it. Because you don't want Oleksandyr Usyk in there doing what he does best, is looking like the busier fighter. Usyk, if he did again weight, lactic acid is going to take its toll. AJ is going to be lactic acid free. Yeah, man. What if Anthony? Hey, I mean, nobody really thought about this, but Anthony Joshua's inside game is quite superior, and I mean, he knows how to dig on the inside, find separation in the clinch for the fucking the very deceptive uppercut. Very, very quick twitch. Oh my God, have to speak on that as well. The quick twitch separation with the hook uppercut combo. Anthony Joshua finds a lot of success, and it's one of his favorite combinations / punches to throw. So I'm just saying, Anthony Joshua might actually want this dude operating him up close. I know if I'm the heavyweight, if I'm the bigger guy, if I'm the stud in the ring or whatever with the real big punch, I wouldn't mind operating up close, knowing I have superior, IQ when it comes to operating in the phone booth, because I would want to get a hold of him, wear him down, with a kind of Tyson Fury-esque kind of approach, be able to bang him out on the inside, crack a couple of those ribs, bruise him up a little bit, make him feel like he's going to piss himself whatever is shot in the kidneys. You know what I'm saying? I want to give him a little bit of all of that. All of that's got to be, you know what I'm saying? Got to give him a little bit of all of that, for real. So, because Usyk going to have to be there whether he like it or not. For sure, 2K, salute. He's definitely, like this is, look, man. Look, after the 25th, I could go to sleep, wake up. It could be the whole end of the damn year. It don't even matter, because for real, I got to see everything that I wanted to see. And I say that with knowing with Bud and Porter coming up, because I know Bud is going to starch the shit out of Porter. That's for November, though. Two great men with no egos going at it. Count me in. These are facts. He's an axe, not a chainsaw. Yeah, man. That boy chopped down trees, man. That boy chopped down trees. Thunderous thudding shots. You know what I mean? But and with that being said, like, what's the kid going to do, man? You got it a clean KO, Miguel. Okay. I'm fucking hyped for this shit. I have Usyk. Man, it's not a bad pick either way. Like for me, like, man, when you step up there with them elite big boys, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm just looking at everything Anthony Joshua been doing, and to be perfectly, from 2017 all the way up until now, from some of them Showtime fights all the way up until, some of his biggest Sky performances, all the way up to, you know what I'm saying, having freaking Kubrat Pulev dizzy on the zone. I'm looking at a lot of this guy's fights, and I'm looking at how he's coming on, and I'm just looking at the imagination process that is Anthony Joshua, and I'm just like, man, I just don't see him losing I don't see him losing to that guy right now. You know what I mean? I just think that his heavyweight prowess is going to prevail in this fight. I just think that he's just the visibly bigger, stronger, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say he's operating with more fluent ability, but I'm definitely going to say he's the bigger, stronger specimen, equally as athletic, just doesn't have to expose it and show it in a way within Oleksandyr Usyk shows it, because they operate with two exactly different fighting styles. Like my man just said, axes and chainsaws, man. They buzz and chop different. You know what I'm saying? We got a chainsaw, we got an axe. So it's two different elements, and either way, no matter how you equate it and no matter how you want to break it down and look at it, you will come up with two sound hypotheses on both ends of the spectrum of how great both of them are going to look, how great both of them are going to be on that night, and it all pans out and it'll all translate to success for either one of them. But regardless, for the boxing fan, though, for the fight fan alike who was tuning in, it translates to a great freaking night of boxing, period. So, all in all, we win. So, shout out to boxing for that, because we definitely win. Shout out to Superfly, says Usyk's going to have to take it out of the judge's decision. Sticking and moving won't cut it. Okay, there's another guy who says sticking and moving won't cut it. So a lot of you are believing that sticking and moving is not going to cut it. He's going to have to go in there. So basically, y'all are the belief that he's going to go in there and have to sacrifice a lot, considering this is a night where you're going to want to sacrifice it all. I get that. I feel that. I feel like he's going to have to do the exact same shit. Sticking and moving, he's going to have to use what he's gifted with. That's the stick and move aspect. But when he sticks, he's going to have to stick around. You get what I'm saying? Like, he just can't stick and just move. When he sticks, he's going to have to stick around for a little bit, operate, try to soften him up, to get him to fall down. Like, he just ain't going to be able to just pat. I'm out of there, yo. Pat, I'm out of there, yo. Nah. He gonna have to stick around in the Lions Den for a little bit. And when you stick in the Lions Den, you gotta watch out for some claws. You gotta worry about getting bit. And he gonna have to be comfortable with getting bit. Do I think Usyk is uncomfortable with getting bit? Hell to the no. So I think Usyk is more than comfortable with getting bit. So with that being said, he's just gonna have to stick around when he's sticking and moving. He's gonna have to work for it, man. And I mean, that's gonna have to be an overwhelming barrage of work. He ain't gonna be able to just like, nah, this ain't one of them. And this is the thing. It's not on a 4-round layoff. This ain't no, I'm gonna take a round off type shit. This ain't no, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to pour it on just at the end of the round and just try to edge out the round type shit. Nah, this ain't none of that. He's gonna have to pour it on consistently, sticking on the inside, putting barrages of punches together consistently, fighting, working on the body. He's gonna have to be there. And at no point in this fight can Usyk take time off. If Anthony Joshua decides to take time off, you got to turn up that much more. That, in my eyes, that's what Oleksandyr Usyk has to do to win. At any given point in time when Joshua trying to rest, he's trying to take some time off, get it together, because you got an overwhelming work rate. You're going to have to overwhelm him with your work rate that much more. Show him that you're coming with a little bit more deceptive power, because believe it or not, accumulation in punches with speed equals the power. That's going to have to be Usyk's bread and butter. And I'm looking at the way he's training. I'm looking at the way he's working out and everything. And that's what tells me that he's going for. If he's going for anything, like, I don't know what his coaches are telling him. But if I'm Usyk's head coach and I'm telling him anything, you're going to have to take it as good as you can give it. And be willing to do it for 12 rounds. How do I put, in the most extremist of ways, I'm just going to have to put it like this. You're going to have to fight like your life is physically on the line if you want to win this match. Like, it's just hordes and hordes and hordes of like waves and waves and waves and soldiers coming and shit like that. And you like Leonidas with the 300 men and you just constantly swinging that joint. You can't worry about fatigue. You just got to keep funneling them in through the mountains and just knocking them down. He's just going to have to keep pouring it on nonstop. There can't be a second in your time. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. If there's ever a second in Usyk's mind, if he's sitting in the clinch for a second with Anthony Joshua, when Anthony Joshua was banging off on the inside, if I see Usyk look up if I see him look up at the Jumbotron and look out for the time once, in my mind, he ain't in the mind state to win. That ain't the type of mind state he needs to win. The clock can never be his focus. The time in the clinch can't ever be his focus. He needs to focus on what he's going to have to do to get up out of it, where he's going to have to chip his shots off, how can he adapt in those moments and everything to win. Because at the end of the day, I feel like for him, he has to pour it on a completely different level. He got to go balls to the wall, all out, go for the gusto. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, no, like my head coach on my football team say, Bruce Arians, no risk it, no biscuit. He gonna have to risk it all, man. No risk it, no biscuit, fam. Reaper gang of mines is what we gonna have to do, man. And this is the recipe for what's going to be a great freaking Saturday, man. Because, like I said, I love growth. And I love prosperity, but more and more I like seeing people too superior, you know what I'm saying, specimens operate in their craft, and I like seeing them both grow on both sides. I like seeing the adversities they're faced with and how they measure up and how they're both going to come out on, how they're both going to come out of it all. And I just think both of these gentlemen are just going to have to put on display something that's just going to, they're only going to display something that's just going to make me have that much more of an admiration for what they do in the ring, because they both going to have to pull out, you know what I'm saying, like a little bit of what Kwame Brown would say, a little bit of mama's cooking, go up in their recipe book, pull out the best of whatever they best is, they best tools, they best guns. Shout out to Warzone. They're going to have to formulate that best loadout. You know what I'm saying? Get that gunsmith right. Have those customizations on top tier, talking about all meta shit, and just go ham. They're going to have to get to it. Usyk doesn't move his head. He relies on southpaw angles and being able to avoid a second punch. And that's my problem with him. And that's my problem with him because, you know what I'm saying? And he's not going to be able to do that in this fight. This ain't the time. Like, you know, before we would honestly be able to say that Usyk. Well, I mean, if we look at his cruiserweight one, you know what I'm saying? At cruiserweight, he's a devastating big guy. But in this shop, he's just the smaller guy. And I just think that, you know, he's going like the standard high guard, you know, the angles and all of that, it's not going to be enough. You don't have enough. You're not going to have enough room. And I mean, he doesn't, even with his footwork, there ain't enough separation to where he's going to be able to be as agile to be able to hop in and out when you're dealing with another 5 inches of reach on the other end of you. 78 to 82. Whew. It's a lot. I still got AJ, but damn, my brain keeps trying to picture what will happen. This is a tricky fight. Hey, man, y'all know how I always talk to y'all about Tyson Fury and shit. Well, I'm like, yo, what is he fainting for? That fainting shit ain't real. He too damn big for that shit. Man, look, man, Usyk just got to be very serious about his business. That's just the way he wins. He's got to be very serious about his business. And like I said, there can't be not 1 second you in the clinch. There can't be 1 second where you trying to take a round off. You can't look at no clock, none of that. Your mind state has got to be completely turned on. You got to be firing on all cylinders every second, every minute of every round. You got to be punching. You got to be inside his wheelhouse. You got to make him work for it. Shit, if you can, you're going to have to, if you got a pivot game, I would like to see if you can exercise it and use it against the bigger specimen. You're going to have to use it. Not saying you're going to be able to move Anthony Joshua because we know he's a fucking workoutaholic. He's a straight up animal when it comes to the gym. You know what I mean? And this is another thing that bothers. Another thing that bothers me about Oleksandyr Usyk. He's not defined in his core isn't defined at all, man. Like if I'm Joshua, if I'm looking at Usyk's core, I'm chopping at the body a lot, for real. And I think that should be how Joshua should come out, considering the fact that you operating with a person who is going to use their legs a lot. And who is going to be very happy, who's going to be upbeat and shit like that. Like, yo, it's like Usyk come in the ring. It's like he's ready. Like, yo, this nigga's club ready. Usyk, when he's in the ring, he is club ready. Everything he do, he club ready. Like, that man could break. Look, he's just club ready Usyk. Because he always expending a lot of energy there. He's never sat still. He's always club ready. So it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work. And I'm not, for anybody who's picked Anthony Joshua, like I've already picked him. I believe Ring IQ's picked him. A couple other people, a couple other experts have picked him. But at the end of the day, this isn't no easy feat. Like Anthony Joshua has a knack for going out there and doing things that, you know, the other person, you know, doesn't necessarily go out there and do, and they might scoff at it in a sense to where it's just like, you know, they might shrug off because they jealous of the successes of what Anthony Joshua is. But this dude doesn't make his Saturdays, his fight weeks easy on himself. He definitely goes in there where it's like, hey, man, we got to accept it for what it is. No matter when this guy's in the ring, he has the potential of losing going up against the type of opponents he faces. And this is one of those type of opponents to where if there was any night that Joshua could catch an L, he could catch an L on this night, and a bad one. A bad one. Usyk can make you look horrible. He's very good at that. And like I said, man, and like Nelson was saying, like Bell, you was saying, yo, you got to be dialed in, bro. You have to be dialed in. And man, oh my God, yo, I don't even fuck. I'm telling you, yo, this shit's got me bugged out, bro. Because it's like, I don't know if y'all get this feeling when y'all fights, but I think all people kind of the same, even though we all different. You know, everybody has like a similar routine in some way, shape, or form. But I don't know. But I know when I watch fights, yo, I'm nailed. Like, yo, when it's a super 50-50, when you know dudes is about to go through it and they have a lot on the line, there's a lot to gain and a lot to lose, and you champion for people's successes. Like, man, there's some nail-biting shit for me. I feel like I'm in the ring. I feel like I'm some way invested into some of these gentlemen's successes in some ways. The nervousness I feel when I watch fights, because I'm just like, oh shit, it can go, it's boxing, man. It can go wrong that fast. And that's why we love it. That's why we love it. This is the shit that we get up for. This is the shit that we pay attention to the calendar for when we watch it, where it's just like, yo, you trying to fast forward through the work week. You know what I'm saying? You trying to make that coffee move real quick to help you get through the work week so you can get to this moment of nervousness, the unexpected, you know what I mean? The outcome. All of that shit, bro. My blood is boiling right now with excitement. I just don't. I'm going to be honest. I might know some things, but I don't know everything. And this is one thing I do not know. I don't know. I can't tell you. Usyk can win this shit, man. That's what it is. He can win it. Contrary to all of the fandom belief, he has a sure shot to win this fight. Clever activity, heart, endurance. All of those are going to play a major part in where he stands on September 25th. But can he win this fight? Absolutely. That's something, you know what I'm saying, I'm thankful for. The boxing world can rest their hat on, yo, we got to fight to where it's like, yo, potentially, we don't know. This is what we strap in for on Saturday. This is what we put all of the time in for. This is what we watch for. This is what they train for. This is why we had these conversations and go back and forward about. This is what we argue with niggas on Twitter about. At the end of the day, we just don't know. And when we find out, man, regardless of however it goes, hats off to both of these gentlemen. Neither one of them should be shitted on if it happens in devastating fashion, because fights will make you look humiliated at the end of the night. But neither one of them, because what they give in the sport, men all year have been shying away from. Activity hasn't been there, so on and so forth. But we know these two individuals, they stay active, they stay fighting the best that's around them, and they stay wanting the peak of boxing success. So at the end of the day, man, this is something that is rare, that isn't given to us too often, that we all should be highly appreciative of. Fandom, favoritism, all of that shit aside, just appreciate it, man. Bask in it, because it don't happen like this too often anymore. I have a feeling this is going to be a boring fight like AJ versus Parker. Wow, really? Really? I mean, and I can understand where you're coming from saying that. Shout out to the Queen Oleksandyr, salute. You know, and I can kind of understand where you're coming from, because when I saw him fight Derek Chisora, I was already made up in my mind that Usyk doesn't stand a chance. I felt like, you know what I'm saying, that was a very bad showing for Oleksandyr Usyk. If you were trying to keep some level of if you were trying to keep, you know, your poker face, still keep your poker face in the rolling into, you know, knowing your mandatory WBO spot when it comes to fighting Anthony Joshua, just considering the fact that it's just like, man, Anthony Joshua looking at a Derek Chisora with no type of fear. And I think that's one of the things we got to take into consideration of, like, if he gets smashed out, like, no debate, Anthony Joshua will make it look easy work. I'm really going to draw my conclusion into going back to that. Just off the simple fact of where Anthony Joshua wouldn't break a sweat, wouldn't lose sleep, wouldn't have to get fleet of foot or have to worry about anything that is Derek, you know what I'm saying, Del Boy Chisora, in the sense to where Oleksandyr Usyk did. And it was something that even Ray Charles could see, and I don't think any of us as fight fans miss. That's where, you know what I'm saying, you scratch your head where you just like, and I mean, look at how hype, you know what I mean, Oleksandyr Usyk was coming out of the fight and the gratitude that he showed Derek Chisora. He didn't show him that type of gratitude just because, you know, Derek Chisora fought him. Derek Chisora brought something out of him. Derek Chisora made him nervous on some level. Derek Chisora had some level of apprehension in Oleksandyr Usyk to where he had some sense of urgency. He had something to worry about. So those are the things with Usyk being the warrior mind and spirit that he is. Those are the things that, you know, made him respect him even more, dap him and show him the type of love he showed him at the end of the fight. But realistically, on the outside of the ring looking in, if I'm Eddie Hearn and I'm Anthony Joshua, I'm soaking this shit up like, yeah, let's get this shit out the way. Let's get this WBO mandatory out the way because we can definitely duff this dude out. No problem. We can definitely work him, you know. But hey, we live on a fight by fight basis. Sometimes we can use those things and we can attribute it to what is going to happen next. Sometimes those things don't even play a major factor at all. And there's just a completely different specimen, a completely different animal standing across from him and operating in the ring to where it's like, shit, we can't hang our hat on none of that shit. So it could be a boring fight. It could be a boring fight due to apprehension of punch power. That's where I would, if I'm rationalizing and I'm just being hypothetical, that's where I would see it. I would see it just due to apprehension and punch power and just not being able to take the shot up there and him just realizing that this guy's going to sit him down and maybe, you know, I took a shot up here, but I took a shot at the king, and it didn't pan out that way. I feel like I might be a little bit forward, but I feel like Oleksandyr Usyk has a better shot in beating Tyson Fury than he does Anthony Joshua. Would anybody agree with that? Or that's like a double fuck no? Dragon Leg said, payday for Usyk. So you feel like Dragon Leg, you feel like it's a cash grab, bruh? That's what it is? Oh, sliding counter in the building. Salute, King. Facts, I be dialed in at fight parties. I sometimes don't talk to nobody. Bro, like, yo, I got my own little chair set up like dead in front of the TV. It's like that episode of Martin, right? Where, you know what I mean, he had the Tyson fight on and he charged everybody $5 to come in his apartment and watch the fight and shit. And the whole time, no matter what his girl's saying, everybody's saying, people trying to just talk to him and just introduce themselves when they come in the door. Tommy got a new girlfriend. Martin ain't paying attention to none of that. Martin is dedicated to the fight. He got to see Tyson. He's trying to make sure his man don't roll over. He's highly invested. I'm locked in on that level, on the Martin Lawrence kind of fight party, $5 at the door kind of level. I got the beer hat on, the beer construction hat, 2 straws pouring out the can straight into the grill. So I ain't got to get up after the 12-ounce gone. I'm all the way locked in. Beer bong funnel with a bucket full of my favorite Heinekens and Guinness sitting in that joint. I'm stouted out, lagered out, ready to go, straight perked out on all types of cookie, and it ain't nothing but fighting. Ain't nothing but fighting on my mind. I'm sweating bullets. I'm on the edge of my seat. The drama has me screaming at the top of my lungs. Man, I shared my frustration with Twitter. When I watched fight, I had Twitter watch the fight with me one night when Miguel Burchell and Oscar Valdez fought. Every 2 minutes, I'm tweeting, screaming, throw a punch. No. Like, dog, full on, like, you can't watch a fight with me. Either I'm not going to be paying attention to you, you're going to call me a shitty host, and if you call me a shitty host, that means you're just not a fight fan anyway, because you shouldn't be paying attention to what I'm doing. You should be focused on sipping a beer, smoking something, and paying attention to all that drama in the ring anyway. But, yo, I'm going to be locked in. I'm going to be drowning out everything with the echoes of my screams, my third party coaching, because I'm sure we all like be coaching. We some third party coaches in our living room. Like, yo, I know a lot of, you know what I'm saying, Not speaking for, I don't know how the women do, but I know a lot of the men out here. We a lot of third party coaches, especially for when it come to fights that we watching. We trying to we actually talking to the TV. Like this dude can actually hear our commands. Like he's gonna be able to operate and throw the type of punches we want him to throw, back away, get on D how he want him to get on D. Like we trying to tell the trainer like how he should be training with him and all types of shit. Like, it's just the way it go down, man. This is one of them type of vibes. This is how it goes. Andre crashed Canelo press conference was worth that soundbite. Canelo, the fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. Facts. That's my vibe. That's the fight night vibe. 24/7 for sure. What time is the fight on? It's in the UK. Is it going to be taking place is it going to be kicking off like in the early afternoon, or should it be coming on the same time or is it going to be dropping I don't know. Like I can't remember. Like sometimes it seems like I'll be catching some of them UK events kind of earlier, man. Like they be popping off and around because I'm on the East Coast. So it seems like I'll be catching it like sometimes like 6 o'clock. Some of them I'll be catching it 2. You know what I'm saying? It all depends. It varies, but I honestly don't know what time it starts. But hey, it'd be the perfect time to figure it out right now, though. My tablet charged. My tablet ain't even charged. Never mind. I can't even look. Yeah. I got that shit down, Miguel. Straight facts. Like you just gotta drown out the fucking world. You gotta drown out the world. You gotta be so locked in that you become your own motherfucking Buddy McGurk. You gotta become your own. Better yet, you gotta become the Teddy Atlas of your household, man. You gotta be that loud, obnoxious pundit sports writer in your couch with your beer goggles on, completely invested with all your passion into the fight. And even when, you know what I'm saying, they go corner to corner when the drama sets in, shit, fuck it. Say an inspirational speech that would even make you feel like he heard you and he getting his ass up out the chair. Fuck it. Anything goes on fight night. Anything goes. As long as you're dialed into what's going on, nothing else really matters. Just stay dialed in. Stay locked in and don't miss. I promise you, Reaper Gang, don't get up. Hopefully you guys got a lovely wife, girlfriend, you know what I'm saying, that loves you, you know, that's going to have, you know what I mean, your bit that'll be nice enough to bring you your beer because she don't give a fuck that much. Or she'll make sure, or better yet, or you could do like me, pour the whole bucket or the mini cooler right next to the chair. That way you don't even have to get up and all your shit stays at perfect, like silver bullet chilled temperature. You know, when the silver bullet turns blue, yeah, you got to have it at perfect blue temperature. Yeah, man, just make sure you don't have any interruptions because I promise you, you're not going to want to miss a minute of this shit. A minute of this shit. And I think that this is everything boxing is about, man. It's been a while since I've been able to, you know, stomach all my frustrations, not, you know what I'm saying, not give a verbal assault of how I personally feel, how people are belittling the sport of boxing, how they're destroying the sport of boxing. And I can only speak in the positivity of how, you know, the biggest division with some of its brightest stars is moving forward. And I just hope that it's consistently exercised and it becomes a constant. You know, I hope that, you know, the gaps that are being bridged between Al Heyman and Top Rank are going to lead to bigger things, to where that web even bridges out even more, to where it extends to where other guys start engaging more, and then we start seeing more fights on their side because they're starting to see, hey man, it's enough money around, everybody needs to get it. Ultimately, where we failed is we stopped putting on the fights, and one guy just happened to seem like he cared a little bit more than we did. Enough of the ego, stuff all of that shit, and just make the fights happen. Because just like my man just said right here, shout out to James Jameson, boxing has been on absolute life support, bump life support. I feel like the vitals have damn near flatlined. You know, I mean, shit. It's at the point to where it was literally boxing it was dead. It was dead. All of the things that stopped stood in our way, the prima donna stuff, the languid activity from the boxers. It was just it just started to overwhelm my brainwaves to where I'm just like, yo, I don't want to be the pessimist of truth when it comes to the sport, to where we just always shitting on it. So finally we can say, looking in the near and distant future, we got Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandyr Usyk. Throw it in the bag. We got Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford facing off. Sean Porter's already training his ass off. Shout out to Fight Hype. I was watching him do his thing earlier, putting in real work. So, as always, Sean Porter is a true professional, taking this thing serious. I know Bud Bennett work, ready to chew somebody's head off. So, I'm thankful to that. We got disrespectful little Shakur Stevenson ready to go off against the humble soldier himself, Jamel Herring. So shout out to that. Then we get to round all of this off with Canelo beating the silly putty and the aloe vera out of Caleb Plant. Now, how you love that? If that's not a great near and distant future and way to round off all of the bullshit cap that has been going on in the boxing world, I don't know what else is. I'm happy. And to be perfectly honest, Errol Spence, sit there with your so-called alleged torn retina and shut the fuck up, because now you see Sean Porter and Bud Crawford fighting, and it's Sean Porter who actually has the balls and the gall to step up, take a $4 million purse, which is good money because we see the type of money you making, Errol, while you full of cap, and take the fight. You on the sideline on your Twitter fingers turn trigger finger shit, just typing away. Now, what sense does that make when all Bud Crawford ever wanted to do was tear the fur off of that pussycat? Pause. All Bud Crawford ever wanted to do was tear the fur off of this guy. And he has the nerve to actually take the social media talk like you want the smoke? Well, I hope all of this working together, because Sean Porter completely killed your theory that ever protected you like Kevin Costner did Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard. He straight up crossed the street to an ESPN pay-per-view. Wow, casual PBC fans, you guys said this would never happen. Now look what's taking place. So there is no excuses for chickens, even though WBC, shout out to We Buy Chickens, the We Buy Chickens belt, and the We Love Tea belt. We know what it is. We know that you constantly try to protect yourself on that side of the street. You try to comfortably play ball inside of your own little PBC's white picket fence and all of that, while Terrence stood across the street shooting dice with Red, Bo Mack and Bernie and the boys, slap boxing on the corner, playing open chess, trying to get you to, come out and really get down with the get down. But you was too busy at the ranch. You were too busy milking nipples. You were too busy, giving feed out to the ducks. You were too busy ranching in cows and, doing your little farmer thing, chewing on wheat. You just copped a brand new John Deere, living that life. Now all of a sudden you want to talk like it's free smoke, it's go time. Oh, did we not forget? You got to look both ways before you cross the street, don't you, bitch? You got to look both ways before you cross the street, bitch, because you got to be extra safe. And you need a apologize. I fat fingered the fuck out of it as usual. Or I don't even think I fat fingered it this time. I just disappeared or some shit. Like, I don't know. Motherfuckers' ears must have been burning or something. They try to take the boy out. They try to take me out on Reaper Gang Radio. We can't have these type of infidelities. But yeah, man. Sorry about that unfortunate blackout or whatever the hell took place. I appreciate you guys for sticking around, man. Y'all loyalty is unwavering, and goddamn, I appreciate that shit, man. For, you know what I'm saying, an average regular old nigga like myself. But yeah, man. Since that shit happened, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and shut it. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. We breathe. We got a good hour in. So yeah, and save some of these talk points for tomorrow as well. So once again, man, looking forward to it. Great fall worth of fights. A lot of dudes putting in a lot of work. Errol Spence, man, shut your fucking mouth. If you ain't gonna come out and play, then man, look, man, just stay on the porch, stay on the ranch, stay chewing on strong wheat, stay milking cows, stay doing what you do best, being a sucker, a Charms lollipop type dude, straight sucker type, closing refrigerator with the hips type dude. Don't worry, I got you. Super Nipple Spence, it goes down. It goes down this coming Sunday. We're going to have a great Super Nipple Sunday too, you know, and it has nothing to do with Errol Spence. We're going to have a great Super Nipple Sunday just on behalf of after Saturday. The fight happened Saturday. Then we have Super Nipple Sunday to break it all down and go into everything that took place. So I can't wait, man. We got a lot of stuff. We got a great week ahead of us. I'm truly thinking about, you know, even going live for the fight. That's not one of them things I like to do because, like I said, I am y'all. Y'all are me. I'm a fan, man. That's one thing we have in common is fandom. So when I do that shit, there isn't a, like, I don't have no professionalism in my blood. All I know is scream at the TV, talk, fighting. I'm not great at engaging with people when fights is on because I like to watch the motherfucking fight just as much as y'all do. But yeah, man, a lot of great activity this fall. So I guess that's it for the night, guys. As we always say at the end of this shit, it costs you nothing. Pay a nigga no mind. Shout out to Oleksandyr Usyk, the Ukrainian psycho, and shout out to Anthony AJ 2 times Anthony Joshua, man. May the best man win. For we do not know who will win, but whoever wins deserves their roses. There should be no criticism. I repeat, there should be no criticism of either individual from the fans because they've always put their best foot forward in boxing. But we know there's going to be a group. There's going to be a rainbow coalition of haters, spandex rockers, lollipop sippers that will have something to say. But shit, it means absolutely nothing because they aren't what we about anyway. They agenda driven. We just prove it with the unbiased time and time again. They make up narratives and we just smash them time and time again. So let them go ahead and have theirs if they tend to have it, which I think on that night, I don't think, you know, they'll have a narrative because we know they'll come at Anthony Joshua if he loses, but we know they're not willing to put in the type of work that Anthony Joshua was willing to put in, nor have they paid attention to his career. Shit, they barely even pay attention to Deontay Wilder's career. But yeah, that's it. Basically, my message is, motherfuckers, respect the fighters because they've always been more than respectful fighters. And as always, disrespect the ones that are inactive. Shit on them and disrespect them in truth. Don't just be out there just slandering niggas, just hating. Disrespect the ones that deserve to be disrespected when it comes to them not walking right in the sport. Because that's the only way we correct it. When we put proper smoke where it needs to be. And as always, where there is smoke, there is fire. Shout out to Reaper, shout out to the whole Reaper gang. I will see you all tomorrow morning. And most importantly, strap in. Saturday, it goes down. You already know what it is. Hey, great live, guys. I'm glad to answer all the questions. Glad you guys are enthused and excited about it. I can't wait to see it. And I know y'all can't either. Have a great night, everybody.